Welcome back to Day Talk, fellow talkers. This time we're gonna talk about occult in a modern Finnish society. How do we practice it, sometimes even without realizing? Before we talk about it, please leave us a like by hitting the like button, so thumbs up for this episode. Also, subscribe our channel if you still haven't, and of course, if you have, hit the notification bell so you won't miss any of our episodes. Now, let's talk about the occult. Our everyday life is occupied by occult. Don't believe me? Think about naturopathy, crystal necklaces, or even the belief that last time I scored well at the exams was when I had my favorite shirt on, my lucky shirt. It doesn't have to be more serious than that. Most of us don't belong to a cult, worship the devil, or consult medium before making decisions. The Institute of Languages in Finland's dictionary defines occult to be unexplained phenomena, study of supernatural forces, or just arts of the secret knowledge. Traditionally, occult also includes alchemy, magic, and astrology. In modern times, this has spread all the way from science to popular culture. The secret arts hold very dear place in people's hearts. This is also proven by studies. The studies made 2019 revealed that every third Finn believes in homeopathy and every fifth in telepathy. 1/3 weren't too sure if they believed in the existence of telepathy or not. Homeopathy and telepathy have traditionally been part of the occult, pseudosciences, or the secret arts. Most famous occultists have been known to be members of secret societies such as Freemasons, alchemists, or Rosicrucians. Outside of organized movements or secret societies, even the fortune tellers and clairvoyants or gurus are recognized as occultists. The idea of a secret knowledge that isn't accepted by the scientific world is usually the element that brings occultists together. Forbidden knowledge is the heart of many secret societies, and it drives the occultists to be against the scientific facts. To be fair, this hasn't always been so. Some of the occultists have been and are well-respected members of scientific communities. Although, these days reading your future from tarot cards or reading the horoscopes from the paper are light entertainment, but they used to be the object of scientific studies. Professor of Cultural History Marjo Kaartinen has studied the history of occultism as a part of Uudet etsijät initiative established in 2018. This initiative is a research of occultism in Finland. She says that back in the 19th century, occult or esoteric hobbies were nothing to be ashamed of. Occultism and consulting the spirits using the Ouija boards were quite common hobbies amongst the people. In a way, this was actually in fashion. Still, the history really doesn't mention such activities at all. This must be because the rise of the national identity phase that led to the Finnish independence didn't want to include such weird and mysterious chapters in it. It is proven that occultism was the most popular amongst the artistic circles. Emanuel Swedenborg was a published author who wrote about the afterlife. He and his works have been wiped from the mainstream history. Still, he had a great influence in Finnish arts and artists. Such artists as J.L. Runeberg, Zacharias Topelius, and Alexis Kivi. It is clear that occultism is a part of Finnish culture, even though it is not mentioned in our history books. As we mentioned, there was no reason to hide occult hobbies in the 19th century. But after the First World War, it was connected to the rise of totalitarianism and fascism. Understandably, this caused considerable damage to its image. In the early 20th century, European social scientists were thinking that occultism caused people to forsake logical thinking and let themselves be swept away by their emotions and beliefs. Examples of this could be Ariosophy, that took influences from occultism and racial purity beliefs. Some of the symbols of Ariosophy were adopted by the German Nationalist Socialist Party to use in their propaganda. The occult was seen to contribute to the rise of leaders like Adolf Hitler or Benito Mussolini. It was also believed to weaken the political systems and often being tied to extremism. Guided by these views, occultism was cut from the scientific world and isolated to its own culture. Before this divide, occultism had its place in society and a scientific community. Occultism's endgame wasn't to knock down established order, but to expand the knowledge, combining it to the unknown. Occult science was about hidden knowledge that could not be seen, only their effects on the world were visible. As an example, I could mention the positions of stars and their effect on people's lives, or magnetism, or even electricity. Astrology and astronomy were under the same subject. Even the doctors or kings were making the decision based on the positions of stars. One particularly interesting former branch of science is parapsychology. It concentrated on paranormal phenomena of the psyche, such as telepathy, telekinesis, or ghosts. Although ghost stories may sound absurd to the modern people, they used to be studied in the universities. In the 1920s, Duke University in the United States of America established a study program for parapsychology. In Finland, academic people established a similar community that is actually still operating. While science was taking radical steps forward, it was only logical to also research the spiritual side of things. Electricity and X-rays opened new windows to the reality. It was believed that while science develops further, we are able to contact the dead from beyond. I wonder why people still believe in a phenomena like telepathy when a scientific world has denied the existence of occult or parapsychology for 100 years. As mentioned, occultism was shut outside of the scientific community. No one wanted the irrational and even dangerous occult to be connected to serious scientific subjects. Still, the demand for spiritualism was high. This was especially true after the devastating world wars. To fill this void, the movement called New Age was born. The New Age is drawing inspiration specifically from Eastern religions. Concepts of karma, meditation, yoga, belief in astronomy, and alternative medical treatments are part of the movement. New Age or New Spirituality was born into the world where spiritualism, state, and sciences were separated. The movement also had the idea of detachment and even resistance. New Spirituality has countercultural ideas where members want to defend the position of so-called forbidden knowledge. In the age of alchemy, hustlers were paid to create gold from nothing. These days, people are buying placebo medicine or powerful crystals to improve their auras or well-being. The hook from movement to movement is the same that it has always been. The promise of improved well-being and expanding the knowledge of oneself and of the world. The differences between science and occult may be crystal clear, but occultism hasn't gone anywhere. It actually seems to rise again, especially in popular culture. Series like The Witcher, movies like Harry Potter, and many others have made concepts of magic and spirits well known to the general audiences. Besides pop culture, the occult is present in everyday life, all around us. It is pretty popular to talk about karma, dreams that might turn into reality, or ghosts. Also, Steiner schools, which are named after the Austrian esoteric and educational philosopher Rudolf Steiner, have occult backgrounds. Same goes with yoga and horoscopes. According to Tiina Mahlamäki, who holds the title of docent at University of Turku, says, "Surprisingly many of our time's beliefs or customs are actually based on occult tradition. 20th century occultists talk about yoga, meditation, and reincarnation, not to forget vegetarianism, cremation, or gender equality. On top of the New Ageism, occult is visible also as a new coming of old movements. Witches and witchcraft, for example, have returned. There are plenty of shops and fairs that sell allegedly magical books and equipment. Reddit has a community named Witches vs. Patriarchy that tries to promote feminism with the help of a witchcraft. In 2017, singer Lana Del Rey claimed that she had hexed the President of the United States, Donald Trump. Rise of these alternate sciences and beliefs have been tried to be explained with the existence of the internet. Still, we must recognize that the occult was present already hundreds of years ago, way before the internet ever existed. Secret Ouija and seer sessions used to be the front page material, and even clairvoyants like Aino Kassinen guided well-known Finnish actor Vesa-Matti Loiri and the President Risto Ryti on their spiritual matters. These days, occultism is not only public, but is also pretty commercial. Horoscopes are sold to the newspapers, and allegedly powerful crystals can be bought from jewelry stores. The secret arts, the occult, has become so public that it itself is ironic. What could explain the popularity of the occult could be that the science can only answer to so many questions. One cannot pray on the altar of science. It doesn't offer consolation or give you the reason or mantra that helps you to feel better. How about you? Have you been practicing occult, or do you think this superstition is just that nonsense? Let us know your thoughts down on the comments. Please, before you go, hit that thumbs up for likes. Also, subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you won't miss any of our coming episodes. Thanks for joining us. See you next time.